The Miami Heat cannot catch a break. We have brand new information surrounding Bam Adebayo's foot injury he suffered last night against the Denver Nuggets. We'll break down all of the information we have surrounding Bam, as well as whether or not that game would have looked even remotely different if Bam was able to play in the next 3 quarters. We'll break down all of that on this episode of Heat Digest, but first, please do remember to scroll down and click that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything Miami Heat, as nearly 90% of you guys watching this video are not currently subscribed. We do appreciate it, but now let's get to it and break down the Bam injury updates, as well as what took place last night in Denver for this Miami Heat team. Now, they did end up losing 122 to 112. Another high-scoring game on both sides of the ball, both defensively and offensively, for this Miami Heat team. But they played 3 of these quarters without Bam Adebayo. Now, the reason being is because he had a foot injury. It was self-diagnosed. Something happened. Bam immediately took it upon himself to check him out of last night's game against Denver. He immediately walked off the court. He went back into the locker room area, and he never came back out. It was something along the lines of a foot injury, and we are still waiting to learn more about that foot injury from his MRI, which is scheduled for today. That is all the updates we have as of right now in the sense of new information we're waiting to learn surrounding Bam Adebayo and when that's going to happen. We got that update literally 25 minutes ago, and that's why I'm bringing you guys this video breaking that down. But he was able to walk on his own power. He wasn't really using 2 people as crutches in that sense to take weight off of that foot. So that's a positive sign, I guess. We're not trying to make any speculations here and make any guesses at what actually took place, but it's safe to say Bam Adebayo would have helped severely in last night's game. Now, Jokic was undeniable. 33, 15, and 16. He shot 12 of 18 from the field, and 3 of his 6 misses were from behind the three-point line. He shot 7 of 8 from the free throw range. This is the funniest thing of all time. He looks like your drunk uncle at the barbecue, and he cooks every and anyone. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the day. It doesn't matter where they play. They could play in Serbia. They could play in America. They could play underwater. And Jokic is going to simply perform. 30-point triple-double. Absolutely led the way for the Denver Nuggets. Overall, it was a very competitive game. It really was. There was just one glaring problem for Miami, and it was not that Bam Adebayo was not in the game. It certainly would have helped if he was present, but the offensive rebounding for Denver was one of the worst efforts defensive rebounding wise for this Miami Heat team all season long, without a doubt, without a conversation, but in the last 10 years. That's not even a joke. The offensive rebounding, look at the 21 to 5. That's not rebounding, that's offensive rebounding specifically. 21 to 5 in favor of Denver. They had 16 more possessions than Miami last night off of offensive rebounds. That's not even to mention the turnovers, which Miami lost that matchup as well, 14-6. Oh no, they won that matchup because of the second half, 14-16. Miami was riddled with turnovers early in that game. That's why I announced it that way. I didn't think there was any way they were able to cover that. But again, 61-38 in totality when it comes down to rebounding, 21-5 offensively in favor of the Denver Nuggets. Jokic obviously at the forefront of that, but really it was Miami. Kel'el Ware got a lot of minutes last night because Bam Adebayo went out early in that game. And despite that, he didn't make good with his opportunities. I know he played decent. Defensively, he is a problem, and not for the good reasons. And also, boxing out. It's not a one-man really problem here. It was a team effort across the board. Jaquez, Wiggins, Powell, everyone involved. Simon Tecchio, all these guys did not box out yesterday. And it resulted in Miami getting their ass beat for the majority of that game. And yes, the score was only a 10-point difference. And during that game, through the stretch of it, it was fairly competitive. It wasn't. It wasn't. Every time Denver missed, and every time Miami actually played defense, it resulted in an offensive rebound, followed by another offensive rebound, followed by another offensive rebound, and finally a make for Denver. You cannot do that, especially against a team as good as Denver. They are constantly in the Western Conference Finals, in the NBA championship year after year after year, because they are a good basketball team. They have arguably the best player in the world on their team, who, mind you, allows them to rebound at a very high clip because he participates at the highest level, obviously grabbing 15 of them last night. Just ridiculous. Now, this is the quote from Bam Adebayo. Bam on his left foot injury, quote, "I felt a pain in my foot, so I took it upon myself to check myself out and go see what happened. We'll figure it out. We'll get some tests done tomorrow and see how it goes." And that's the end of the quote from Bam Adebayo. Again, it would have been substantial to have him in that game for the remainder of it, but it didn't work out. He ended up leaving that game, and he didn't come back. It was all Kellman Ware in the sense of the center position for the remainder of that game, pairing with Simon Fontecchio as well as Niko Jovic, and it did not get the job done. We need to see Jovic hit the boards harder, Simon Fontecchio, Andrew Wiggins, Kellman Ware. We need to box out. Last night was abysmal. It was almost embarrassing to some extent. All the broadcasters, whether you're watching the Denver feed or the Miami feed, questioning, where is the boxing out? Where are the box outs? You cannot rebound by just jumping up and out being more athletic than everybody. Even if you're 7'2" with a 19-foot wingspan like Kellman Ware. We watched it over and over and over again. Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun, even a hybrid guard forward, Jokic, all of these guys putting a body on another body and moving people out of the way and allowing their team to grab offensive rebounds, resulting in easy second and third chance opportunities. And when that happens, you're never going to be able to win. You're going to have to shoot 75% or better from three-point land, and you're going to basically have to shoot 40 of them to compete. In a game, you give up 21 offensive rebounds. I can't stop stressing that enough. And the reason we opened up the video with the Miami Heat cannot catch a break is because not only did Miami conclude their 4-game road stand out west with the loss to the Denver Nuggets last night, 122-112, but then they arrived in Miami where it was 2:30, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. And Erik Spoelstra arrived to his house with a collection and a parade of emergency response vehicles, fire trucks, EMTs, police office, Miami, Broward County area sheriffs, because his house was engulfed in flames. This is not a joke. I thought someone was just saying this because the game went the way it did last night, and basically it feels like Erik Spoelstra's house is on fire. His house was literally on fire. This is Tim Reynolds, a very popular journalist around the Miami area. He was not the only one. There are hundreds and hundreds of journalists and articles surrounding this entire situation because this actually happened. Erik Spoelstra, the head coach of the Miami Heat, came home last night from a four-game road stand out west to his multi-million-dollar Miami home engulfed in flames. And Tim Reynolds went on to go post these two pictures, and there are a lot more if you'd like to search the internet for them. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue distributed these photos of the blaze at Heat coach Erik Spoelstra's home this morning. The fire is out. Hotspots are being monitored, and nobody was hurt. So no injuries. No one was hurt, thank God, but the idea is the same. Erik Spoelstra gets home from a loss to the Denver Nuggets. They lose Bam Adebayo in the process. Don't know how severe it's actually going to be. And then his house is on fire. This is a horrible collection of time here for Erik Spoelstra. The last 30 hours plus have been rough for him. So keep Spoelstra in your prayers, as well as Bam Adebayo, hoping for a clean X-ray, MRI of today. We will bring you more updates the second we find out anything surrounding Bam Adebayo and the foot injury he's dealing with. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below your overall thoughts and opinions on this version of this Miami Heat team. And do you think this is something that will be quickly corrected in the sense of the lack of boxing out and just the inability to defensive rebound? Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.